Hey, it's Kim Commando Today, your daily podcast to keep you up to date with all things digital and beyond. And I'd love to have you be a part of our podcast. You can make an appointment to speak with me. Just head over to commando.com, and on the top right, there's a button that says Email Kim. Fill that out, and that's it. You know me, I always like to begin with something really interesting. Now, the number of colors that you may see on a traffic light near you is going to be changing. A study proposes a fourth color light to be added to the familiar, red, yellow, and green traffic lights. And so what will this color be? White. Okay, why a white light? Well, this light is going to tell autonomous electric cars to lead the way. And they're going to go first through the light, and then all the human-controlled cars will just follow behind. Kind of gives new meaning to, go to the white light, doesn't it? But here's the deal. I think that traffic lights just might have a crush on me. Yeah, I think they do. They always turn red whenever I'm around. Hey, on that happy note, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Kim Commando, America's beloved digital goddess. And hold on to your hats and keys because you're about to get a whole lot tech smarter because everything around us is now a tech thing, right? And I'm sure you have at least a few questions about something digital I can lend a hand to. And our T-Mobile unlimited listener line is now open at 1-888-825-5254. Or if you're just too shy to come on a big-time show and podcast, I get that. Just drop me your questions right on our website. Head over to commando.com, and in the upper right-hand corner, there's a link that says Email Kim. Alrighty, every single day I check out at least 30 different websites to make sure that you and I are both up to date on all things digital. And this is part of the show where I like to talk about tech news. And whether you've noticed it or not, sales of personal computers, they are just tanking. And leading the way, surprisingly, it's Apple. That's right. But to be fair to Apple, sales of all PCs are down, way down. But Apple's sales plunge is uncharacteristic. In the first 3 months of this year, shipments by all PCs combined slumped almost 30%. But over at Apple, it's a massive 40% sales plunge. Ooh, yikes. Now, what's going on? First, COVID's over. Everyone's out. Working from home is declining, meaning people are no longer having to buy these powerful computers for their home, at least for now. Secondly, Apple's computers, they're just fantastic. And they have the highest price tags to match, but they also last a really long time. Now, whether or not anyone wants to admit it, we either are in a recession or a big one is about to begin. And so shoppers, we're just holding on to our cold, hard cash. But what does this mean to you? Well, if you have the cash and you really do need a new computer, it's now time for you to take a look around. Both online and offline retailers are going to be slashing their prices over the next month. So pick what you want on Amazon, fire up that browser extension. It's fabulous. Camel, camel, camel. And so when the price drops at whatever you're willing to pay, you're going to get an automatic notification. Yes, super sweet. All right, next on our list of 5 things, coming in at number 2 is ChatGPT. That's right. It can be notoriously unreliable. You may know that, and I may have told you all about this, that my name is Kimber Antomny. No, that's not true. That's what ChatGPT says. It says that I changed it to Kim Commando like 20, 30 years ago. Totally wrong. But what if ChatGPT accuses you of any wrongdoing? Well, the mayor of a village called Hepburnshire, about 70 miles outside of Melbourne, Australia, is getting ready to sue ChatGPT. Why? Because ChatGPT insists that mayor served prison time for a bribery scandal involving the Bank of Australia in the year 2000. But in reality, the mayor was at the time working for the company that prints Australia's money, and he was the one who notified authorities about the scandal. He wasn't the bad guy, he was the good guy. So now Mayor Hood claims slander and his reputation's damaged forever. But you have to wonder, what other lies is this chatbot just passing off as a fact? Like, by the way, yes, I was born Kim Commando. That's my real name. And before you say it, yes, I do go commando. All right, number 3 of 5 things. We're talking about AI imaging comes to porn. What? Yes, and people are buying it. Now, it's not as if there aren't enough real people posing nude and having sex online for a membership fee. Well, now AI has come to online porn, and people are buying that too. Images of people who don't even exist. It's an incredible story over at the Washington Post, and they're reporting that this fake porn first showed up on Reddit, where Claudia, that's her name, is offering to sell nude photos of herself. Of course she is. Even though she's not real, she seems to be very, very popular. Now, the images are created by these inexpensive AI image generators. They have names like Midjourney and Stable Diffusion. These are the same programs. I don't know if you saw it. Fake images of the Pope in this Balenciaga sable jacket with a big cross, or President Trump running from the police. Totally fake pictures. Now, some of these journalists seem worried that whether or not paying customers know that the images are fake. I'm telling you, they don't care. They just want their naked pictures, and they want them all now. They don't care whether it's a real person or not. It just reminds me of that old joke. A man saw an email from his coworker that said, "Do you have any naked pictures of your wife?" The guy's so upset, he replies back, "I certainly do not." And then a short while later, he got a second email from this guy, his coworker, that said, "Hey, would you want to buy some?" Crazy stuff. All right, coming in at number 4, Gen Zers. Talking about the entitled millennials and Gen Zers, the unthinkable is happening. The real world has somehow crept into their protected bubble, and they're getting shell-shocked. And we're talking about safe employee bubbles over Silicon Valley and beyond. They began popping really last year with the first round of firings. And this year, oh my gosh, the cuts just continue. Over at Amazon, 27,000 people have been fired within the last 90 days. And for retained employees, the perks are going away. I'm talking about perks like free yoga classes, free shuttle services, free massages, free daycare, free dry cleaning, free haircuts. Everything's gone. No more 24-hour gourmet kitchens and staffed with free food. So employees are also being told to keep their older smartphones. That's right. No more new phones because we have to cut costs. And those folks that are scheduled to get the newest MacBooks or Surface Pros or whatever they wanted, they're getting the $150 to $200 Chromebooks instead. Also, no more private offices or workspaces. Sharing desks with other employees, that's just the new norm. And I actually read this. If you need a stapler, you're going to have to go to the reception at the front desk and borrow it, who will definitely want it back. Yeah, tough times over the tech companies. And finally, this coming in at number 5. I'll tell you, as I go throughout the internet and I look at all these different sites, it always astounds me that we have probably 90% of these tech writers who just believe everything that they are spoon-fed. Like they're talking about Opera this past week. I mean, here are some headlines. Opera brings its free VPN to iOS to rival Apple and Google's paid alternatives. Okay, remember that. Opera is rolling out free VPNs on iOS. Okay, Opera's a browser in case you didn't know. Apple Insider. Opera adds a free VPN with a built-in ad blocker. Here's another one. The Opera browser on iOS is great. Another one. Opera browser announces free VPN and bookmarks and live scores. All these tech sites are reporting how great the web browser Opera is because now it has a built-in VPN, and guess what else is baked into this browser? TikTok. All right, let's go back and talk about Opera. That these tech bloggers and tech writers on the internet and podcasters, they don't think past a press release because they don't want to think. Is that Opera was a great browser. I'm talking about in like the mid-1990s, folks. It was founded in Norway. It was slick. It was sweet. But in 2016, it was sold to a Chinese consortium of companies led by an outfit called Golden Brick Silk Road Fund Management. Okay, you don't have to remember that, but just know that this Golden Brick Silk Road, whatever they're calling themselves, is a private equity firm based in China. Yes, in China. Now, the major shareholder of this Golden Brick Silk Road Fund Management, okay, is guess who? China Merchants Group, a state-owned conglomerate, meaning Communist China. And it goes on to say that the fund's investment focus, I did some research, is on tech and media. It's invested in companies in China internationally. And then, maybe the Chinese government has a strong influence over us. The bottom line is this. If you're using Opera with TikTok baked in, that's one thing, because TikTok's getting all your data, everything that you do on your device. But now you're adding in a VPN that will track every single thing that you do when you don't want anybody else to see what you're doing because you want that path encrypted. And everything that you do on the VPN is now going over to where? Anybody following me? Yes, communist China. Okay. So pass on this opportunity. Okay. Do not download or use the Opera browser. All right, still to come, we have the best times to post on Instagram to get the highest engagement. What happens if you buy something online and you never get it? Well, what should you be doing? Oh, and our tip, we're going to talk about these secret social media profiles. I bet you have one on your account somewhere. You don't even know it. I'm going to tell you more about that. And of course, we have all of your phone calls here on Kim Komando today. Hey, our T-Mobile Unlimited listener line is now open at 1-888-825-5254 is the way to join us. And we got a review on our newsletters the other day, just made me laugh. It said, I pity the fool who doesn't get the Kim Komando Show newsletters. Well, you should sign up and get them right now. Komando.com/subscribe. That's Komando.com/subscribe. Deanna in Traverse City, glad to have you with us.
Hello, Kim. I was on with you a few years back.
Yes, yay, and you're back for more. I love that.
Yeah. Well, I was looking at your website the other day, and you had something on about if you needed a good gas reference, with gas prices and everything now going sky high. You suggested Gas Buddy. Well, a few years back, I don't remember when, 3-4 years ago, you mentioned about, take Gas Buddy off your phones. So I did. And now you said to put it back on.
Okay.
And I'm kind of going, okay. So
what's going on?
Yeah, that was like, I'm kind of going, okay, Kim, what's going on? Why was it not good before? And now why is it good?
Well, it wasn't good before because they were selling location data. And they weren't really telling anybody that they were selling the location data. And they also, in their terms and conditions, said that they could share the information that it collects about your driving habits with insurance companies in order to produce a score which may predict the level of what they called driver riskiness. Okay. So since then, they got their hands slapped a couple of times, and now they're putting everything in the terms and conditions, but just know that they still are probably selling the location data because that's why it's free. And then they're also selling some ads along the way. But it's also, I think times have changed from 4 or 5 years ago when we didn't really realize how much all these companies were tracking when we were getting stuff for free. And now we are all aware that if we are getting something for free, that we are the product, right?
Yeah.
So Google Maps it's a great product, but it's free and it's going to sell your information to who knows who. So Gas Buddy is pretty much in that same realm at this point. If you're looking for a gas app that doesn't follow you, that doesn't track your location data, that doesn't sell anything, and it has pretty much the same apps, but maybe not as complete as maybe Google Apps or Apple or even Gas Buddy, but they do provide mapping. Is that there's like maps.me, there's Magic Earth, and then there's OMS, and we'll send you links to all three of these in case you want to check it out. But as far as being able to know like where the lowest gas price is at any given moment, I'll tell you, it's pretty hard to beat Gas Buddy. It really is.
Yeah, I know it.
I mean, we can go to Costco and sit in that line for gas.
Yeah.
Which we all do, and then we're like,
Sam's and gas in Costco. We have both of them. Yeah. So
and then I don't know if you're like me, but you're sitting there in the Costco line saying, I don't know if this is worth it.
Well, we just saw we saw 2 Shell gas stations for $3.63 today, and then we drove over to Kalkaska and it was $3.69, and we're like, oh, no, it's $3.36. That's what the other place is $3.60. Yeah, we're like, whoa. There was 2 of them, and we're like, whoa, what's going on here? They're giving it away. So, but to your advice, I shut all my Google off. Okay, so they can't track me, and I also have. Here we go. I love that app. The only thing I don't like about it is if you over the speed limit, it goes beep, beep, beep. So I just shut the sound off. I'm not going way over, but I love that app, and I really like that. But I shut off all Google stuff because I don't like Google.
There's a lot of people, Deanna, that we're just kind of fed up with Google. I just wrote a story, which we're going to put on the website in about a week, about fonts. Okay. Because we know
Mhm.
about Google tracking us with our location and, everywhere you go on the web and even offline if we have the maps. But there are some 60 million websites, Deanna, that are tracking you by the font that's on the screen. And so
Oh, okay.
even if you have cookies turned off, even if you have all this other stuff turned off, is that if this website are using Google's fonts that they supply for free, then you're actually being tracked. And really there's no way to
Interesting.
really stop that type of tracking. Although, I mean, you can get into some programming stuff, but who wants to do that? But in this article that's on the website is that we kind of go through, there's a browser extension that you can use, but it only blocks in Safari. Yeah. Well, hopefully that the developer will move that forward, but it's just something that it's like, wow, so Google's actually tracking us by fonts too. It's kind of crazy stuff. Deanna, thank you so much for your call, and thanks for being a subscriber and all that other great stuff. We appreciate you on board with us. There are some other gas buddy type apps, but they're all going to track. Like Waze, of course, they have real time gas prices built in. Gas Guru is another one. AAA has TripTik, and it's also a travel planning app. But just keep in mind that anytime you get something free, right, there's always going to be some type of tracking with it. All right. This happened to a friend of mine. He actually cornered me at a barbecue the other day. He's like, Kim, I bought something on Facebook and it never came. And now that I gave them my credit card number, what should I do? I said, well, you need to go ahead and cancel that credit card because you don't know where else it's going to be. But what should you do if you don't get something that you ordered? Number one, contact the seller. And these online marketplaces will give you a refund or maybe send you the order again. If they don't respond, you want to call your credit card company, explain you never got the goods and no one's gotten back to you. But you have to act quickly. You only have 60 days to make a claim. And this coming in at number 3, if you paid with a debit card, notify your bank of a fraudulent charge. And they're going to conduct an investigation that if you win the dispute, you will get your money back. And by the way, just stop buying all this junk off of Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram ads. It's all just cheap garbage from China. Just don't buy it. Hey, stay right where you are. We have a great tip about secret social media profiles you don't want to miss. Forget what anybody says. It is a lot of work to be a real deal social media influencer. I mean, even if you have great content, there's something to remember. Your timing has to be perfecto too. Now listen to this. Almost 100 million photos get uploaded to Instagram every single day. And here's what you need to know, that your own pictures, videos, anything that you put up on Instagram, it's all going to compete with every single one of them. So here's the smart move. Upload when most folks are using the app. Now, when is that? That's weekdays between 10 a.m. and 3 p.m. Yeah, during the business day. Now, keep in mind, this can vary depending upon your audience and time zone, so you do need to experiment. But the big deal here is that you always want to hit that button for insights. You want to analyze your Instagram insights so that this way you know what your reach and engagement is. But let's say you're a busy bee and you can't post during those prime times. No problem. Just use its built-in feature. It lets you schedule your posts for the perfect time. And speaking of Instagram, don't be ghosting me there, okay? Just go ahead and follow me, Instagram.com/Kim Komando. That's Instagram.com/Kim Komando. All right, coming up in just a few seconds, we're going to talk about social media profiles, these secret profiles that are out there. Oh, and then later on, you don't want to miss this. I have 5 texting shortcuts that anyone over the age of 35, when somebody uses it, be like, what are they trying to say? Yes, you're going to be surprising your kids by using their lingo. All right, back to the phones we go with Stan in Snowflake, Arizona.
Well, hello there, digital goddess. Thank you for taking my call.
You betcha. You betcha. What's going on?
Well, I've got a question for you. I'm trying to find an application for my phone, my smartphone, that will let me do what I guess you'd call wellness check. So it'd be for like an elderly person living on their own, rather than the hassle of them having to call and check in with someone or vice versa every day to let them know they're okay. There must be something out there, some free apps out there that let people just check in with their app each day. And as long as they do that, everything's fine. But if they fail to check in each day, it would reach out and send, I would imagine, a text message to the designated recipient, letting them know, hey, there could be an issue. You need to check in with this person.
Are you looking for this for yourself or for somebody else?
Yes, it would be for me.
Okay. All right. That's good. You're pretty smart about that because a lot of folks would never be, thinking along those lines. Yeah, there's an app called Safe Trek, kind of like Star Trek, but Safe Trek.
Okay.
And what it allows you to do is you set a timer, and then you can check in with the app when you start an activity, such as taking a walk or going to the store. But you can also set up different timers during the day. And if you don't check in or turn that off, it will automatically send an alert to the emergency contacts that you put in there with your exact location. But it might be better for you to use an app called Life 360. It's more of a family tracking app, but it also is really designed for personal safety. And it has exactly really what you're looking for more than Safe Track. It's called check-ins, where you can set a time for the app to remind you to check in. And it does just that, Stan. If you don't check in, the app will send a notification to your emergency contacts. Now, I just have to tell you that these run on Wi-Fi and cellular. So as long as your Wi-Fi and cellular is working, right, then they'll be able to send out a notification to your emergency contacts. But I think if I were you, I'd probably sign up for Live 360. And again, it's called check-ins. Does that help you out?
It sure does. Do you know, by the way, Kim, are these both free applications?
They are free. And then you have to pay for certain features. And normally it's like if you're going to be adding additional family members to do maybe speed tracking in a car because you have your teenagers signed up for it. So they're always free to start out with, but then of course, they're trying to make money too, right? Then they're always going to come up with maybe some features that you're like, oh gosh, I really need to pay for that. And then it's up to you to decide whether it's, the $10, $15 a month. But definitely look at Life 360 first and then Safe Trek. And Stan, thank you for your call today. You also want to remember, by the way, medical alert systems, the wearable pendant wristband that you can summon emergency assistance. You also have automatic fall detection, and this way you get help even if you can't press that button. And smartwatches. Wow, it doesn't seem like a day doesn't go by that we hear about somebody's life being saved by an Apple Watch or some other type of smartwatch because they have fall detection, emergency SOS features that will automatically notify 911 or your emergency contact if you fall or you have some sort of medical emergency. All right, let's see who's next. Bonnie in Chicago, Illinois. Hi, Bonnie.
Hi there. I have two questions for you. I have a iPhone 12, which has a cracked screen from multiple tumbles through the years. And the last iOS update that I tried a week ago, it gave me a nasty message saying that it could not load the new program on because my memory was full. So I wanted to know from you, when is a good time to get the next upgrade that's coming up, because I'm probably due? And then in between now and that time, how can I free up memory so that I don't run into this problem if there happens to be another update? And I'm sure that it's the photos, so I went there first to try to adjust and get rid of some of the duplicates and stuff, but it's still pretty full.
Still a lot. Well, let's talk about first the iPhone 12 rather. Let's talk about the first part of your question, okay, Bonnie? When's the good time to buy a brand new phone? Well, coming up in June, we have something called the Worldwide Developers Conference. It happens with Apple every June, and that's when they release the new operating system, because guess what's going to come out in September, October? A new phone, right?
Okay.
Okay. So, if you can hang on to this bad boy until, say, September, October, you'd probably be in a better position to get a better phone for less money than you would be able to at this particular point. Okay. As far as the cracks on the screen, you can, they're still under Apple Care Plus. I'm not sure if it is, but you can take it down to Apple, they replace it, as well as there are all of these places around town now at most communities that will fix the screen for you for, $25 or something like that. So that may be worth it to you. Now, as far as the phone getting out of memory and out of storage and all that stuff, make sure that you don't have any videos. Photos are good places to look, but also videos. So if you have the Apple TV app on your phone, just look at that. And you may be surprised that you said, I want to be able to watch this movie. And then you're like, I'm saying from experience, Bonnie, because this just happened to me not too long ago. I was like, where did those storage go? Well, when I was traveling, was putting movies on stuff,
Yes.
and then it was just populating everywhere. And I'm like, oh my gosh, no wonder why. That's kind of crazy.
Right.
So, of course, you're going to go through any apps. You can go into your general and the iPhone storage, and then you can delete apps, offload apps. You can also store your photos, videos in the cloud. That
Uh-huh.
will free up some space on the device. You
Okay.
go into settings, then your name and iCloud. You can also transfer files to a computer if that's what you wanted to do. But I think it's probably just have a whole bunch of junk in there,
I do.
like delete the cache, from your browser, and it's
Yes.
just some tidying up. We're gonna do some spring cleaning on your phone,
I need that.
uh, and we have a lot of tips over on the website. So I'm gonna put you on hold, Bonnie, if that's okay.
Yes.
And then Amber's going to pick you up, and we'll make a list of different tips for you that will highlight and help you delete all the extra stuff that you have on your own iPhone, because it can be a bit of a nightmare. And thank you for your call. All right, let's do a great security tip right now. And social media secret profiles. Here's the deal. Even if you've never created an account on social media, they might have a hidden profile with more details than you'd ever believe. Here's what happens. One of your friends signs up for a social media account, say at Facebook or Instagram or TikTok or wherever it may be. And then as they're signing up, the social media companies say, oh, we want to help you find your friends. How about if you upload your whole contact list, and then we're going to tell all your friends that you're here. And you're like, oh, that would be so wonderful. Well, just when you did that, you passed along things like their full name, birth date, maybe, a phone number, email address, mailing address, and a whole bunch more. So if you know someone who has shared their address book with Facebook, Instagram, Messenger, or whatever, they probably have your details. Now, the good news is that you can remove those details if you know about it and if you know where to go. So as a listener of the Kim Komando Show, of course, you're always going to be tech smart. So you're going to go to facebook.com/contacts/removal. Once again, that's facebook.com/contacts/removal. Then just follow the prompts, and then this way you can go ahead and remove that secret profile of yourself over on Facebook. Now, here's the deal. Just keep this in mind. Anytime any app wants you to share your contact list, I want you to just say, no, I am not going to fall for your garbage. If you need some more information about this, you can find this secret profiles tip over on our website. That's komando.com. All right, still to come, we have 5 texting shortcuts that anybody over the age of 35, maybe even 30, that you're like, what are these Gen Zers talking about? And we have more of your phone calls and tips here on Kim Komando Today. All right, Lisa May in Crystal Springs, you're up next.
Oh, I'm just hanging out here. A new listener to your show, and I love it, love it, love it. It's so awesome. It's really helped me a lot. But anyway, I wanted to ask you something. You know, y'all said the other day on your show about the mechanical Turks for the work from home.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Well, I
Amazon.
signed up and everything. Yes, signed up, and it's really good. Also, with that came the Nielsen Group, Nielsen. So I said, yes, I'd want to do that. Well, they sent me an email saying that they would have to take over my computer. And so I was just really leery about that. So I wanted to get your thoughts on it.
Well, wow. That would make me pretty leery too,
Mm-hmm.
Lisa.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Why do they think that they need, and what are you doing that they need complete access to your computer?
Well, they're wanting to see, I guess, like what TV shows I watch and what websites I go to. So I'm not sure.
Well, there is the Nielsen Group, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where they do ratings, and it's
Mm-hmm.
legitimate.
Mm-hmm.
I could see why they would want control of the computer. How much are they going to pay you for this?
Well, it's a different amounts. Like I'm part of a survey group that every month they put my name in a hat for $10,000 drawing, and I think it's like $50 or $60 per survey or per month or something like that. It's a pretty good bid. I mean, it's more than the other ones, but.
Do they have any reviews?
No, I don't think so. Not yet.
I wouldn't do it.
Okay.
I wouldn't do it. It just if I wouldn't take that chance. Because here's what I'm afraid of, Lisa.
Mm-hmm.
As I'm afraid that we have some bad actor who is misspelling Nielsen just a little bit, so it almost looks like the real one.
Right.
And they are on this Amazon Mechanical Turk system, where if you're unfamiliar with it, it's where you can go on and then you can do little things on your computer and you make money. Maybe you're like scanning receipts or reading receipts or saying that this color blue is more blue than this color, things that human eyes need to really do. My fear is that, and I'm happy to do the research for you, but my fear is just off the top that I just don't know if it's legit. Okay. And I would be afraid to say, yeah, just go ahead and do it. And then it turns out that it's malware, badware, and who knows what they're going to do, steal your passwords, get into your bank account, and, the whole list goes on and on, all the bad stuff.
Right.
So for now, why don't we do this? For now, why don't you just say no to this and go find another gig? Okay. And if you can screenshot that for me over, at the Mechanical Turk, and so this way I can look at it and then let me give a call over to them and let me say, hey, is this really legit or is this not legit? Because I can get a hold of somebody in the media department. They'll help me out. But for now, just say no. Okay, just say no. I'm glad you called me. And just because it's on Amazon may not necessarily mean that every opportunity there rather is legitimate. So let's just do that. Just say no to that. Send me a screenshot. Put you on hold, Lisa. And then let me do some homework and then I'll get back to you. And Lisa, thank you for your call. Aside from surveys, you can do a whole bunch of things on this Amazon Mechanical Turk to make money. I mean, there's data entry. Maybe you want to enter some data into spreadsheets or some forms. Also, content moderation. You may have to look at some images or product reviews, but just be careful because some of this content moderation jobs might be stuff that you don't want to see, that maybe social media is saying, like, how do we get this stuff off of our platform? So just, be careful with that. Transcription for audio and video recordings. Research, maybe you want to find some contact information for businesses or verify information on other websites. You may be asked to label or annotate images or videos. You may be asked to write short articles or edit content or look at web pages. It's a whole mishmash. Now, the question is, can you get rich working for Amazon Mechanical Turk? No, but can you maybe make $1,000, $2,000 a month? Absolutely. Every single day, over 400,000 people get our free daily email newsletters, and they're great, really. They're just fabulous, just loaded with all kinds of information, just one sponsor per issue, and you can try them for free, and you can get them for free, but you have to sign up. Head over to komando.com/subscribe. They have my spam-free guarantee, too. We're not going to sell, lease, distribute your email address to anybody ever. Once again, that's komando.com/subscribe. All right, so Gen Zers, they speak a whole new language thanks to the internet. So here are some words that the cool kids are using. All right, let's start with lit. No, not lighting a candle. It's more like you're having a time, like that party was so lit. How about trill? It's a combination of true and real. And so if you're being awesome and you're a great friend, you're trill. Stan, it's not somebody's name. It means that you're just a true fan. Bleak means you're on point, you're sharp, you're stylish. Then there's slay. That means you're just killing it. You ace that presentation, slay all day. And I hope that clears things up because now you can use all of this newfound knowledge to impress your kids. And be sure to tell 3 friends about the lit Kim Komando show and the Kim Komando Today podcast because you're Stan and you always want to stay on fleek. That's right. And you can find me 24/7 over at the website. That's komando.com.
This program is a copyrighted production of Westar Multimedia Entertainment and protected by the copyright laws. Any rebroadcast or use of this program for commercial, business, economic, or financial purposes without the written permission of Westar Multimedia Entertainment is strictly prohibited.